Welcome back to Everything Guns,
episode 21. Let's start off with some use of force stuff today because I've got a lot on the agenda. We've got a new segment we're going to use today, Who's Dumber? And that'll be toward the end of the podcast. How it started off with just two organizations, and I've got two new ones that might take the new title.
Yeah, and I guess we're staying out of politics because that'd be easy win there.
Yeah. No, we're staying out of politics on this one. This is all right. Let's start with use of force. I got one case. This was out of Pleasant Hill, California. We see a lot of these cases out of California. This was a number of assailants, at least 6, they said, entering a jewelry store. So this was on video. So you had this one lady who was walking around videoing the jewelry store, kind of casing it, letting people know. And somehow or another, the people figured out what she was doing. So as she was starting to leave, they tried to keep her from leaving. And when they tried to keep her, 6 people just come running in, sledgehammers and hammers. Lady started screaming inside the store. One of the people working in there, the owner heard the lady screaming, so he comes out of the back with a little pistol in his hand, showing the pistol to the robbers, and they just scattered. I mean, they took off running back out the door, get out to the parking lot, get into a stolen car apparently because the police had tagged that car from a red light tag reader or something. It was already in the parking lot. So
the police were
already in the parking lot. They got away. They didn't catch them.
What do you mean they got away?
That's what I mean.
In the car or just run off?
Police chased, but they got away.
Did they get away in the car?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
In the car. So they got away. No shots were fired. The owner did have, so let's just talk about it from the aspect of the use of the force.
Was there any force used?
Well, yeah, he brought a gun out.
Okay.
And
he waved his gun away. All right.
Well, I mean, it's self-defense.
Well, okay. I mean, what are we talking about?
He was prepared, and which in California is good. He had a gun in
so
his
he wasn't
place of
charged.
business.
He wasn't charged.
No, he was not charged.
Okay.
No, nobody apparently was.
So they were, So they picked up on somebody recording in there.
They were aware. They were aware of what was going on. And I think the reason they were aware because there had been previous break-ins, not only at their place, but in other places where a large group of people would run in with sledgehammers, break the windows on the little stands, grab stuff and go.
Yeah.
So he was prepared, came out, was willing to use the gun, or at least pointed at him. I don't know if he was willing to use it or not, but
so he
at least pointed at him.
He used it as a scare tactic, and thankfully nobody else had a gun and started shooting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, but I mean, he was prepared, had it ready. So good job on his part of being.
Do we know what kind of pistol or what he had?
It looked like a little snub nose revolver, probably a little 38 special or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
there's not a lot of options you can get in California.
I get that, but if you got 5 or 6 people, you'd kind of want something more than that.
Oh yeah, I agree. But you're limited.
Yeah. Okay.
So good job on his part. Next one is out of Philadelphia. So we had a woman coming back to her home, and when she opens the door, she finds four men in her home.
What time of day was this?
Didn't say.
Okay.
The next one, I got a time of day, so you can ask on the next one. But on this one, so as she arrives at her home, she immediately begins firing.
Okay.
So she had her gun on her.
So she had her gun with her.
She pulls her gun, immediately starts firing, striking 2, who
That's good.
eventually died.
Okay.
The other 2 fled. I don't think they've found them, and she was not charged. No charges filed against her.
So good having her gun on her.
Yeah, but let's talk. So, I mean, she had a couple options, right? I mean, I think it was good.
Yeah. Okay.
She goes into her house.
Yep.
Somebody in there. She starts shooting. Yep. I don't say there's nothing wrong with that, but she did have another option. She could have just left or called the police.
Yeah, could have tried to back out, but they also could have chased her down.
Oh, absolutely.
And drug her back in there.
Absolutely, I agree. I had a coworker. He got home one afternoon. This was in San Francisco. Was pulling up in his driveway. And 3 people come running out of his front door and took off and jumped into a van and took off. So kind of similar. He didn't start shooting.
They were outside.
Yeah, he was he's very anti-gun, but after that he was asking about getting a shotgun or something.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, okay. I think she did things well. I think having a gun on her,
Which was good,
It was
having
good.
it on her and ready as soon as she
Having
opened the door.
at a spot where I don't know how she was carrying it, but it don't sound like she had to dig
Didn't
through
sound
the
like-
purse and dump out a bunch of stuff to get to it. It sounds like she had it readily available.
Yep.
And she was willing to use it to protect herself. So
Yeah. So another good use of force there. So two good ones, I think, right so far. And then the use of force number 3, we got another one that we can talk a little bit about. He's going to be part of our Who's Dumbest or Who's Dumber.
okay.
He's
Oh,
in
is that the cop?
Yeah, we'll talk about that
Oh
one a
my
little
gosh.
bit. We'll talk about it from that perspective of use of force.
Yeah,
in that one.
it's
First,
awful.
let's look at this one out of Pajaro, I think that's how you pronounce it, or Pajaro, California. And this one was approximately at 1 a.m. in the morning. So you had a man was in a bar, and all of a sudden he's in a bar and he gets confronted by another man that just enters, and they get into an argument. The guy that confronted the guy in the bar pulls a gun.
Do we think they knew each other?
I think so.
Sounds
The way
like
it sounds like they knew each
they
other.
had something going. Okay.
Ramos is the guy who was in the bar who got confronted. He returns fire.
So,
they got
which
shot.
one pulled the gun first?
The guy that confronted, the guy that
Okay,
come into
the
the
first-
bar,
the second
pulls
guy.
his gun,
Okay.
shoots at the
Okay.
guy in the bar.
Okay.
He pulls his gun, returns fire, killing the man and a bystander.
Okay.
A lady
That's bad.
that was a bystander got killed. All shots, and it didn't say how many shots, but it looked like it was numerous. All shots were in less than 3.5 seconds.
Okay.
So this was fast, which is normal.
Yeah.
You know, these events happen quick. He was not charged for the shooting. So,
Dead guy was charged with the murder.
yes, he would have been if he had died. The aggressor, and the way the district attorney pointed it out to the aggressor is responsible for the bystander's death. But he was charged. I don't know why I keep pointing. Oh, we're on video too. Oh, by the way, yeah, we'll mention that in a minute.
You just did mention it.
Want to talk? Well, you don't know where it's at yet. I got to tell them where it's at.
YouTube. It's on YouTube.
It's on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Clear Creek Shooting. I'm gonna try to get this on the YouTube channel anyway. We'll see. He was charged with carrying a loaded firearm in public, which is felony. You got something crawling up your. You better take your headphones off for a second. It's crawling up the wire. It's like a little stink bug or something. It's right there by your ear. That's why I had that on video.
Maybe you ought to clean our studio up a little bit before I get in here.
I don't come out here
My
about
God.
once a week. The dogs look like they come here more than I do.
It looks like it.
So he was charged for a felony for carrying a loaded
Carrying a
firearm
loaded-
in public.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Bad day for him.
well, he's not dead, so that's good for him. And then the last one was one.
Well, we're not going to talk about.
Well, I mean, yeah, we can talk about. Yeah, I guess we should since we're talking about using force.
The whole point of bringing these up is, I mean, we're just not reading the news.
Good and bad, right? So let's
Yeah.
talk about the good. He was prepared.
Yeah.
He carried his firearm with him.
Yeah. My guess is if he knew this guy, he probably knew he was trouble and probably why he carried it, but
Might
I
have
don't
been.
know. But anyway, he had his gun readily available.
He
Used that
used it
twice now.
effectively and he got shot at, so he was under fire and still used it effectively. So good job on that part.
Bad part, killed somebody.
Killed somebody.
That was an innocent bystander.
Yes, yeah, not the aggressor,
Yeah.
because I mean that's part
Yeah.
of it. But yeah, an
He-
innocent bystander lost her life.
Yeah. So he wasn't.
Not
He
his
didn't know
fault.
where all his rounds went.
True, but yeah,
I get he's
No,
been
I'd say,
shot at.
I'm
but-
assuming it was him because they said, I don't know if they confirmed, but probably by
Well,
where she
sounded
was
like,
standing,
sounded like
it
the
was.
way you
it
read the
was
story
her.
that
Yeah.
it was him. So
Yeah, I'm assuming by where she was standing, they
So-
confirmed it was him.
got to be better.
Another thing, I mean, regardless, yeah, I'd say you need to know the laws in your state.
Yeah.
But
Hey, but and also, well,
if you're scared for your life,
don't go to the bar.
Yeah, don't go to a bar.
Yeah.
If
I
you know you can't
just-
carry, and you're worried about that, stay out of those places.
Or you go to the police with, hey, here's what's going on. And
If there wasn't, I'm assuming there was some
yeah, I don't
history
know. It
between
sounds
those
like
two.
it. He
That's
just comes
not
in and starts shooting at him. But
yeah,
so it was good and bad in that one.
Yeah.
For sure.
yeah, absolutely. And then let's just briefly cover the one for the police officer. Where was that at?
It was near Fort Walton, wasn't it? Florida.
Was it in Florida?
It was in Florida.
Oh my gosh. So if you haven't seen it, go to check it out on YouTube. All you have to do is put in
Search her on Acorn.
yeah, police and Acorn. You put those two terms in, police shooting and Acorn, and you'll find it. Basically, you had two police officers arrest a guy, I guess for stealing his girlfriend's car. Or there was an argument.
The girlfriend had called and said, "Hey, my boyfriend's stealing my car. I want to press charges." They come, get the guy, search him twice. Put him in the back of the squad car.
He never even acted like he was.
No, the girlfriend told the police that he carried a pistol with a silencer.
Oh,
the suppressor.
Gosh.
Is what. So, put him in the back of the vehicle.
After being searched and handcuffed.
Yeah. So I forget the cop's name, but he's walking back to the vehicle to do another search of him.
Oh, is that what he's going back for?
Yeah, he was going to go back to do another search. He put his, after. He, you see him putting his gloves on. Walks back over there, reaches for the door handle, and this is where the acorn falls from the tree, or a squirrel threw it, or I don't know. Maybe squirrels don't like cops, and he was throwing acorns at him. But it hits the top of the vehicle, and this joker goes to the ground, starts yelling, "Shots fired! Shots fired!" Rolls about 15 feet away from the vehicle and just starts laying into it with his pistol. Just starts shooting the back of his vehicle like there's no tomorrow.
There's a mag dump.
Yeah.
Yelling, "I've been hit!
I've been hit! Shots fired!" His partner,
crawling,
who's in his line of fire, just to the left and a little further up from the vehicle, starts firing as well, and sympathetic firing. She starts firing.
She didn't see anything that would cause her to start firing.
I can't imagine this poor boy in the back of the vehicle.
They said he
was just coming at him like crazy.
I heard one report said he acted like he laid down, acting like he was dead, so they quit shooting at him. I don't know how he didn't get hit. I mean, there's not a lot of,
Yeah, I must have had a bunch of stuff in the back of that trunk.
I hope so. God, well, I guess he did, because my goodness.
Yeah, he kept shooting. He went to slide lock, dropped the magazine. Then he drops his gun. He just crawling. My legs ain't working, and can't get up.
Wrong with my legs.
I don't feel right, and finally gets another mag in his gun. Never shoots again because he says his whole goal was just to get out of the line of fire. That's what he said. They asked him why he didn't shoot anymore. So I was just trying to get to safety. He was just shooting to get to safety.
All right.
I mean, you can go through Andrew Branca's law of self-defense, goes through the deposition with that he had.
I need to see that.
Oh, my gosh. It's amazing.
He resigned.
Well, yeah, apparently he was special forces in the military for 10 years.
Yeah.
2 stints in Afghanistan. Didn't see any. He was...
Man, this is his first little action he's seen.
Yeah, he did not go into...
Good job
into any kind of war zone. But
doesn't build your confidence in our special forces.
Oh, my gosh. No
offense to our special forces. I'm sure this is an outlier of these.
They couldn't convince him he wasn't shot till he got to the hospital, and the doctor said, "You have not been shot." And then when they finally showed him the acorn to hit the vehicle, they asked him, "Do you think that could have been what you heard?" "I guess it could. You got video evidence of it." They asked him a couple times if he wanted to watch it. He finally declined, and then I guess resigned.
I think enough people's going to see that it's going to not do anything good.
So obviously too nervous to be a cop.
Yeah. But let's look at it from a use of force standpoint. In this one, you just look at reasonableness. The 5 things you got to have a defense of self-defense. There was no way that would have been reasonable. If it had been a civilian or somebody out of the public,
he was certain that somebody was shooting at him with his suppressed pistol.
That's not reasonable, though. I don't think you can have that does not pass a reasonable person test. A reasonable person would not believe that a guy that's been searched twice with his hand cuffed behind his back is shooting at him. Take it off. You look stupid. for all our non-YouTube watchers, he's sitting here with a body armor vest on because that's going to be part of his review today. But,
you continue. Hey, let me just say this. Continue on when I take this off.
Well, go right ahead. I got a bunch of notes here for other stuff.
Well, we're not done with that one, are we?
Well, he's going to be part of our... We can go back to him as he's going to be in the running for Who's Dumber. So he's going to get a chance at winning that for the first time in our episodes. So yeah, that's all I had for that one. It's just you can basically look at reasonableness and it doesn't pass the test. And there, I mean, imminence. I guess he could. I don't know. There's no imminence there either.
He did some. Well, I say good shooting. He put some bullets into his vehicle from laying on the ground. I mean,
I mean, they were going everywhere though.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know where did those end up?
I don't know. The other cop, lucky she didn't get hit by one of them.
Golly.
Well, she was shooting too.
Shooting into the car too.
Yeah, they were putting some bullets into the car.
And just look at it
his mag change was a little bit to be desired. He threw the gun down and was just screaming like he'd been shot 18 times. Probably need to get that under control.
Yeah.
I understand adrenaline and all this going on, but if you're going to be in that position, if you're going to take that job, you gotta keep your emotions under control.
I say that for anybody that's going to carry a gun.
Oh, absolutely. Keep it together,
If you're going to
man.
carry a gun,
Golly.
and you're taking the responsibility of carrying a gun and potentially using it against somebody, you've got to have better.
Well, I know stress can
control of yourself.
Stress can do a lot of things.
That's
but
terrible.
You gotta figure out how to keep that under control.
Yeah. It makes you wonder what the police officer's training is. But then when you tell me he's a special forces, I would assume
Training. Only 6 weeks?
Yeah, police officer. Yeah. It takes longer to get the.
Barbershop.
Yeah,
Where did I
to
see that? It's like 18 months.
Yeah, it's a lot longer
to be able to cut hair. 6 weeks to be a cop.
Yeah, well, if you look on YouTube, I don't have.
I saw that somewhere. Where did we see that? Was it Branca?
It's a known
that part
fact,
of that? I know, but it was. I just saw that recently.
But so not good on his part. Her part, she had no idea what was going on, and she just starts firing.
She claimed she fired because she trusted the judgment of her partner.
Well, bad job there.
Yeah. She
was a senior officer there. She needed to take control of the situation.
She's still on the job, and she has no actions taken against her.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. So, but anyway, he's in it for the run.
I looked. I couldn't find anything on if the squirrel was charged with anything.
I don't think they ever found him.
It may not.
He got out of there too when the news started.
Fine. He quit throwing the acorns and took off.
It was just a joke.
trying to get food for winter and dropped one. There it goes.
Yeah, there it goes. Get shot at for that. All right, that's all the use of force stuff I had for the episode. Let's move on to some gun and gear reviews. I guess just gear. No, I got a couple gun reviews.
Well, let's argue with yourself a little bit.
Do what?
Argue with yourself some more about what you got going.
I knew I had that one piece of gear, that shot timer I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
This segment brought to you by Clear Creek Shooting. For all your shooting needs, check out ClearCreekShooting33.com.
I'll start it off with my gear. I got my body armor. So I got.
Should have wore it.
I had it on. Yeah, it's not bad. Those
are pretty light. That's a small.
It's a small carrier, or it's a small plate. So it's 2 level 3 9x9 multi-curve plates. So I mean, it's just made to protect the vitals. It's from A.R. Freeman, right? Ain't that the company? No,
AR 500.
AR 500. Yes, AR Freeman. AR Freeman bundle is what it is. Now I'll tell you what all comes with the bundle, but I'll tell you how much I pay for it and what it's going for now. But it's a 9x9. Didn't we shoot one of these plates?
No, we shot one out of my bigger.
Okay, so similar, but this is
same level plate.
Level 3. It'll take what? Level 3 take 2. It'll take 5.56.
Yeah, 308.
Level 3 won't take a 308. No, it's not a level 3 plus. So it'll take 762 by 39. It'll take 762 by 51, a 5.56.
Well, 308 is what, 762 by 54, right?
Yeah, it won't take. Yeah, you have to. On this one, the chart I show, level 3 plus will get you to a 308.
Okay, I get you.
But I mean, then obviously it'll take pistol rounds.
Yeah, I know that it's less. Similar to the plates that we tested out at the range.
So they're good plates. I mean, I would have liked to have gotten bigger plates, but I went with this, and I went with this bundle. It's called from AR 500. It's called the AR Freeman bundle, and I got that and a plate carrier for $99.
Yeah, I bought the same one.
Yeah,
so my wife would have a plate carrier.
Yeah, it's smaller than one you have.
When I set it next to the one I have,
yeah, it's little. Wow. It's smaller for sure. So, but it comes with. I mean, it's a cheap little plate carrier. It's got some molly on it that you can put stuff. So I took mine and added a couple mag pouches to it.
It does look good. If you check us out on YouTube, you can see it.
Yeah, so it's got I got a couple mag pouches on it.
We need to do this live on YouTube.
No, we don't. And
whatever.
So, and then I added, because it had these little shoulder straps.
Yeah.
And those would hurt.
Dig into you.
It's not like the plate carrier is that heavy. And I tell you what, it weighs.
Especially if you're not a man.
I said it's not that heavy. But it's the body armor. They're probably, each plate's probably about 5 pounds. It seems like it's more than 5 pounds. That's what it says on there when I look it up.
Well,
that feels heavier.
The straps are,
but anyway, the straps they were thin.
Yeah.
They were thin, and they kind of dig into your shoulders. So I had a couple extra slings I had for some weapons that we had used at work that we were throwing the slings out, and they were nice and padded. So I cut them up, Velcroed them onto my shoulder strap. Man,
that's good now.
That's made a nice little plate carrier.
Lost my camera connection.
So it's laying back down. So it's a decent plate carrier. If you go to AR 500, they have quite a few models. So here's one thing I was going to bring up. So I bought this in 2021. I bought it, like I said, it was $99 for that bundle. So it has the carrier and the armor. Tux and all, $127. I go look at their website today. What do you think the price is today?
I don't know, probably $150.
$261 for the exact same thing that I got. $260. So that tells you a little bit on the inflation and how things going, or maybe even a little bit more people buying more of them, I guess. I bought it because it was a really good price when I got it. I don't know if it was going on a sale when I got it or what, but it's $261 today. Still a good deal, but they got some other
$260. I've got some.
You can get some other stuff on their website, probably pretty close to that. Maybe not.
I've got some pretty good deals. I've seen some pretty good deals on some ceramic plates here recently from one of my wholesalers. But
yeah, but
man,
I like it.
How much that's going up.
I like it. Obviously, it doesn't protect as much as I want, but so. How you gonna video us with a camera in there?
I'm not gonna video. It just went dead on us. So never mind watching this on YouTube. I might try to put up a couple of shorts.
Of 2 seconds worth of video. Good job. See, this is what happens when I let you.
Oh, whatever.
Control anything. I'll take over the video recording as well.
No, you won't. I'm doing the video recording.
You can't do it.
I was meant to.
Can you quit playing with your camera?
It's hot. It got real hot. Look how hot that thing got. It's weird.
Nah, it's not bad.
Oh God,
not at all. Electronics gets hot when you use them. I don't know if you know that or not.
I get that, but it's
not. That's not very hot.
I had so
anyway,
batteries went dead.
AR 500 is the AR Freeman bundle, 9x9 plate carriers with a somewhat of a cheap plate carrier.
Used to be cheaper.
But you can add things to it to make it nice. The mag pouches and the shoulder straps really makes that into a pretty nice little plate carrier.
Yeah, pretty cool. All right,
and it gives me something I just throw in my truck.
Yeah,
if I ever need it. Then I have it with me. I guess one day we need to go through what all we keep in our trucks and go bag. That might be a decent little.
Oh yeah, segment. That'd be riveting. I got these matches in here. That'd be great. People would love to hear what we got in our backpacks. Oh my gosh, that'd be horrible. I'm bored sitting here thinking about it. No, we're not going to go through our backpacks during the podcast.
All right. Oh here's how I set up my truck for something's going wrong.
Yeah, okay.
But okay.
All right. Good idea.
New segment. Yeah. We'll flesh that out.
All right, you do that. We can call it Who's Boring? Who's More Boring?
What you got?
I'm trying to get past that. All right. So I've recently sold 3 shotguns from Panzer Arms, and I hadn't seen any of those before. I got before they bought these. They're nice little guns. You seen that bullpup that I sold? They're solid, didn't you? Didn't you see that?
I saw it. Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Anyway, So it was I sold the Panzer Bullpup, Panzer Scar, and then another Panzer M4 shotgun, all 12 gauge. And those are really well built, non-expensive guns. So I'm selling them. The Bullpups were right around $379. I think I was selling them for something like that. The M4 I sold for right at $509 for an M4 12 gauge shotgun. Man, that Scar and that Bullpup, the magazines that come with them, they come two 5-round magazines.
They look nice.
Man, they were. You could run over those things with a truck and it wouldn't even make a dent on them. It was well built. I haven't got to. I haven't got to shoot them.
Truck, not my truck.
But they seem like very well made guns. Hopefully they'll come out to the range sometime and we can shoot them.
The guns?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, the people was going to bring them.
Oh, okay.
Not just the last guy that bought it said if I wanted to shoot it, he'd let me take it out.
Oh,
there.
okay.
So it's pretty cool. But yeah, I hadn't heard a lot about Panzer Arms. They were at SHOT Show. They had some pretty cool stuff. Good prices on a bunch of stuff. So yeah, check them out if you're looking for something. If you want to get one from me, shoot me a note, email, and I can order one, send it to wherever, to another FFL for you to pick up. Doing a lot of transfers. Not a lot for you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Transferring firearms.
No, you're not.
A couple, anyway.
You know a lot.
All right. So the next thing I had, do you have anything else, or is that all you
That
had?
was my gear.
Yeah. All right. So the next thing I had was this little.
It was the body armor.
I remember.
All right.
It was a new shot timer. And we've talked about some shot timers before, but this one is.
That was the tip of the week. 1 week.
Yeah, it was a tip of the week. Yeah, awesome tip. Anyway, so this shot timer works off an app on your iPhone that connects to your Apple Watch. They don't have it for anything else yet other than the Apple Watch, but it works off. It's called Recoil. Really like it. So we tested it out last couple times at the range, shooting with a 9mm pistol, AR-15 rifle, 22 AR rifle. I think that was all we shot with them, but it worked really well with all the different ones. It basically works off recoil and noise. So if I've got somebody shooting next to me, it's
And
still
then, we did a test with you shooting with me shooting right next, and it only picked up
the shots that I did, even though
even though I'm right there next to it, which is different than your normal shot timer.
Yeah, it's free, but there is an option for subscription, and I think it's like $40 one-time pay for a lifetime.
Looked like he gave a good bit of information for what's going on.
Yeah, the free version you can get, it keeps up with 5 drills, gives you all your splits, your total time. I mean, it's really nice. What's neat? Yeah, I say that it's just $40 for a lifetime, which I'm thinking about doing just because the guys that created this are the guys that created Practice Score.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty neat. Those guys, their stock has gone up with me, with all the stuff going on in USPSA and what they.
So the app is called Recoil, and it's I read on there that because I have Android, and they were having issues with all the different versions of Android and different phones, so they just sticking with Apple right now, but may eventually go with an Android version as well. Yeah,
it's pretty cool. And what was, the first time I used it, it was a little learning curve, but it's not difficult. It was just you got to change some settings and do some things to make sure you're picking up what you're wanting to pick up.
Yeah, you thought you had an issue last week when it was in your pocket, but then it started working.
Yeah, just fine.
The first couple shots it didn't take, and then
after that it worked flawlessly.
Yeah,
and then the first time I tried it didn't really do that well with the rimfire, but then I got to doing a little more research. There's a setting you got to change, and then it worked perfectly with the rimfire. It seems good. Yeah, it seems like it's a good thing. Ties to your watch. So the only downside is instead of buying a timer, you got to have to have an Apple Watch and an Apple phone. Yeah, a lot of people already have some of that. So, but if you don't,
I'm just saying what you got to have.
I'm agreeing.
I don't have one.
Well, that's not my fault. I like my Apple Watch. So it works good for if you do have an Apple Watch and an Apple phone. Of course, why would you have an Apple Watch and not have an iPhone?
I don't know.
I don't think you would.
Why not?
Well, because I won't get into that. Anyway, it's a pretty neat little little thing if you're looking for something. I also got this. Met these people at SHOT Show. They emailed me the other day. I guess a couple of weeks ago.
Who are they?
Skilly Gear. They make backpacks and stuff. That's when they make the backpacks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, pretty cool backpacks. They actually emailed asking about being on the show, and then I haven't heard anything back from them. So I don't know if they listened to it and said, no, we don't want to be on that show.
Maybe ought to send them our number one.
Yeah, you've seen that. Do you see that? I sent you that email.
You sent it to me.
I know. That's pretty neat. I don't know how that's possible, but whatever. But if you look up SKILIGEAR, you can check out some of their stuff. Now, if you're looking for a cheap backpack, this is not the place to look. They're expensive. These are expensive. They're geared more toward, I think, military use, carrying weapons and multiple weapons in a backpack. But they got some. The back of them have got a steel frame. They don't seem too heavy. I checked one out while I was at SHOT Show. If I mentioned I was at SHOT Show.
Yeah.
But they're pretty neat. Like I said, I think the cheapest one I seen was like $500. So they're definitely not cheap, but pretty cool. So check that out.
Maybe I should have started our intro off with number one gun show.
What?
Number one gun show. That's how I should have.
Yeah, according to Good Pods.
Number one in the top 100 guns all-time chart, according to Good Pods.
Boom.
Number one,
Number
baby.
one. Yeah. I don't know how much I believe that, but pretty cool anyway. I think they were probably just wanting to get us to buy something, but
well, yeah.
According to them, we're number one.
All right, so that's the gear and stuff. All right, what else you got?
Let's just jump into end of news, and then we'll get to the USPSA craziness.
Drama. Yeah,
they're in the running for who's dumber. There's a couple of people in that running from USPSA. I think you got Troy, you got this new Bruce Gray guy from Gray Guns.
Well,
I think he's in the running now.
I don't know if you heard the Russell Fortney podcast that he was on just today.
Troy was on it?
No, Russell Fortney.
No.
Go to Instagram.
Which area director is he?
He's the.
He's the VP.
VP.
Yeah. Right.
Area. Which area?
All right, we'll talk about it when we get there.
There's some posts of what he's saying. Oh my gosh. He's on up there with the idiots.
Well, he's been right along with those guys. But let's talk about what's in the news first. So you can basically say aloha to the Second Amendment if you live in Hawaii.
Aloha to the Second Amendment.
So Hawaii's highest court ruled that the Second Amendment, as interpreted by the U.S. Supreme Court, does not extend to Hawaii citizens, citing spirit of aloha. The court determined that states retain the authority to require permits before carrying in public. All private citizens, and so they basically you can't have a gun.
So they require a permit, but they don't allow permits.
Well, they allow permits, but all private citizens who applied in 2020 were denied.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, there were some security people that applied that got permits, but you had to be a security person.
That's ridiculous.
All citizens that applied were. They basically said that Bruin didn't matter, Heller didn't matter. None of those matter because
until these people have consequences, then they'll just keep doing this and put it in the court system, and then citizens will pay the price for it.
I mean, you got one that paid the price. He was arrested for a felony for carrying a firearm in Hawaii, and he takes it to court, and eventually we always say, well, once it gets to the Supreme Court, Bruin will take it. Well, that's how long is that going to take that to do that?
Yeah,
so
and
5 years away.
And Bruin didn't go far enough. So
no, but
we need. And this,
we're never going to get. It's just amazing to me how there's always a battle.
Yeah, and you have a gang shooting in Kansas City, and then they start calling for magazine.
They want to take my gun away from me because you got gangs.
Gangs end up shooting.
Yeah.
That's the go-to.
Yep,
that's
always,
what you're fighting.
Always the go-to. Well, I think we mentioned in the last episode where I can't remember which judge it was in California, but he'd halted the enforcement of the ammo background check law out of California.
Yep.
Well, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, 2-1 vote, granted a stay on the January 30th ruling, So now it's back in effect. And I said something last episode, which apparently was wrong. I thought there was a stay on that being enacted, but apparently there was not. Because as soon as that judge halted the enforcement of that, I got emails from all my wholesalers talking about.
Yeah, you told me that, so it must,
sending ammo to, you could buy ammo online in California. And then now they've put it back into place. Now you have to
so ridiculous.
Do a background check, do the 4473. Which 4473s just got updated. Quite a few little changes in that. So I got a bundle of 500 4473s that are useless now. So I'm starting just doing them electronic anyway, but kind of getting off subject. But yeah, so that's back in place until it goes, I guess it'll have to go in front of the entire Ninth Circuit before it can go to the Supreme Court. So
frustrating.
Very frustrating. Just continuously. And then the last one I had was just a confirmation from the Biden administration that terms like MAGA and Trump were used by investigators to conduct surveillance on financial transactions of U.S. citizens after the January 6th debacle. So investigators also...
Daggum debacle.
If you shut up for a second, I'll finish this one. Investigators also warned financial institutions that purchases of books like the Bible could be viewed as an extreme indicator. So if somebody were buying Bibles or other books, or they could view that as extreme and turn people in for that. So just another good example of, I guess, of the DOJ run amok.
Oh, corruptness. It's a good example of how our government is corrupt and power hungry, and
it's not
don't care about its citizens' rights at all.
And it's not just the Democrats.
No,
the Republicans are fixing to vote in the Homeland Security Act or whatever that one is that allows surveillance of private citizens.
So ridiculous. And much more than that. Just don't care about any of our rights. So.
Let me check. You keep talking. Let me make sure I got everything.
I keep talking. What am I talking about?
Well, I'm just saying, I got to make sure I caught everything.
You did that every episode. You sit over there with your little book. We get done with a topic, then you tell me to keep talking.
Okay. We can talk about this when we get to the who's dumber.
You're about to be on that list. You don't.
First, let's
keep talking.
Let's talk about USPSA stuff then. Let's go into that.
How far back do we need to go? Where were we?
Well, I mean, we covered.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago we covered
a lot. Okay, so I think basically all that's happened. Let's say we talked about. Yeah, we talked about Rizzy getting back on the board, so we're pretty well caught up.
Up to the point where they tried to trademark Hit Factor.
Hit Factor trademark is I think we haven't talked about.
Yeah, so that got discovered.
Yeah, I think we need a little background for people that don't know what Hit Factor is, though. I mean, not everybody is familiar with USPSA. So scoring in USPSA is done by what is called hit factor, which is basically time or
points
divided by time. So how many hits you get on a target in a certain zone gets you a number of points, and then you divide that by your time. That's hit factor. And they've been using that. IPSC's been using it. USPSA's been using it. I don't know exactly who. I think IPSC came up with it.
Isn't there a company out there with hit factor name? I know there's a podcast.
There's
a podcast.
But yeah, so they try to trademark it because basically a lot of clubs across the United States were going to shoot hit factor matches instead of USPSA matches. So basically they were going to use the same rule set, the same scoring, but just call it hit factor instead of USPSA, and they wouldn't have to send in money to USPSA. Well, their brain trust, I guess, decided, well, we'll stop that. We'll trademark it, and you can't use the term hit factor, which set off another round of hate coming back to the board members and to the organization. And they eventually pulled the trademark. There was no way that was going to go through anyway. I mean, you got people like you said, the podcast had named themselves Hit Factor.
There's a company called Hit Factor. They have their own website, hitfactor.com. It's a indie game developer founded in the summer of 2020 by a group of passionate industry veterans. So there's a company out there with the name Hit Factor. There was no way.
No, there's no way it was
the
gonna
Hit
work.
Factor was going to be trademarked, and so apparently done without the board knowing.
Well, they say that.
Say that.
There's no way.
I say it was done without a couple of the people on the board knowing.
I say it was done without the board voting on it. And this was because it looks like it was done prior.
Ben Berry and Rizzy knew about it?
No, I think it was done prior to Ben Berry and Rizzy coming onto the board.
Could have been. But they can tell you when it went in. It was January of 24 when they tried to make the. Wasn't it? When there's a way you can go in and.
I had to go back and look.
I mean, they made.
But no, Barry and Rizzy didn't know about it.
They could have made the decision to do that and then just filed the paperwork in January.
Yeah,
we don't know. But yeah.
Stupid. Looks like they've trademarked I period, P period, S period.
Well, they're trying to IPSC now. They're trying to trademark that. So after all they get found out and the firestorm that caused, they basically had to withdraw that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They probably were figuring out, hey, this ain't gonna work, and now we already had people pissed off, and now we're gonna piss them off more.
Yeah.
So
now they've raised the prices of shooting the Nationals from where it was a couple of years ago or a year and a half ago from $285.
Yeah, it's
last year was $350. This year's $400.
Yeah, but they're going to put money savings things into.
Yeah.
So
and then Troy from the NROI goes on their podcast talking about you can't downgrade a level 2 match to a level 1, and who is he to tell a match director what they can kind of
I know. Just dumber and dumber.
Dude.
Yeah, you're not going to do this and do that. I can do whatever I want to in my match.
Yeah, I call it a level 50 match.
Yeah,
if I want
I'll
to.
do whatever I want, and if I want to be affiliated with y'all, then I will be. If I don't, then y'all stay out of my business.
And I'll use whatever rule set I want to use. Yeah. If I want to use USPSA rules, I'll use it. I'm not paying you money for that.
No.
And then you got this new guy, or not new guy, but Bruce Gray from Gray Guns. He pops off in there just saying some stupid stuff. Just going on to Facebook, downing people and calling out Ben Stager and all these guys.
Apparently nobody's heard from him in a few days.
No. I mean, well, how stupid are you if your business is building guns and making guns for people to alienate over half the people that there's going to be buying guns.
If you want to make a stand or take a side, but do it without calling people morons or acting like you're far superior or morally superior than they are.
Because he definitely wasn't. So.
Yeah.
So that's our first entry.
USPSA,
the whole group.
USPSA, entry number one for the dumb.
Yeah, minus Ben Berry and Frank Rizzi. Those guys, I think Ben Berry's doing an excellent job so far. So the next one I've got, let's just keep with the organizations. So USCCA, we've talked about it before. We're both members.
We're members.
I've been happy with USCCA. Luckily, I've never had to use their legal services and hope I don't ever have to use them. And I think they've done a couple of good things here lately. You've seen some more things come out of people talking about when they did have to use it in some of their magazines and some of their emails.
I read that, but one thing I didn't see, how much money they paid to cover it.
True. Yeah. I don't know why
I didn't see that. Put that information out there. Here's what it cost, and here's what we covered. All they did was go through and tell stories, and hey, we were right there with them as they went through this. Tell me me how much money you had to give them to get through that.
No, I agree with you.
And then it gives everybody else a better idea. Hey, do I need this level or do I need that level? Or hey, they did this much. So
because there's three or four levels in USCCA. Because I got the highest level.
So tell me what you covered.
Yeah.
Tell me how much it cost.
I'm with you there.
It's good you're telling these stories, but really get into the details because that's what I want to know.
Yeah. So let's talk about what they did. So you had the CEO or the owner, Tim
Smith.
Yeah, come out a month or two ago and did this little video, which was horrible. He should not be a spokesperson. He should never be a spokesperson. I like Tom Greve,
but he did a video as well.
He's the one I was going to talk about. So he comes out with this email, or he comes out talking about an email from the guy that shot the guy, the YouTuber.
The one that shot the YouTuber and in the mall area.
Which, no problem. These YouTube pranksters, if they get shot for some of the things they're doing, that's on them. But that case did not look like a good case. But he comes out with this supposed email that's 2 months, 3 months after
everybody starts using that case as a reason how USCCA is not doing what they say they're doing.
And the email just sounded fake. I mean, it just, I'm sorry. It might not have been, but it sounded so fake. The timing of it was horrible. It was just, I mean, if you didn't, they're helping the guy now. I would have come out and said, hey, look, we didn't think this was a good case. We didn't think it was a self-defense case, so we didn't cover him. That's our fault. We apologize. And it would have been done.
Right.
But they keep kind of up excuse after excuse.
Well, it could be, I mean, people still will be mad about that, but if you go back and detail on other cases, and here's what we're covering for all these others, and here's how we did it, then it would be, but they're not doing that.
No,
it's all, there's no transparency.
No, they're doubling down on it.
Oh, my
gosh. They didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
And it just sounds terrible. They think every time they put a video out, it helps them, and it just hurts them. Because everybody tears it apart.
Well, the same way USPSA or go on a podcast. Then it just gets worse and worse.
Oh, what was you going to tell me about the Fortney guy? He's part of USPSA.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He went on a podcast, and you have to go read on the.
I'll check it out.
Apparently, he doesn't quite think the protests are as bad as they are, and he doesn't understand what they're about, apparently.
Oh, my gosh. Clueless. It
goes on and on and on. And,
nice.
There's some stuff on Instagram that's kind of detailing, here's what he said at this mark and this mark. Instead of having to go listen to the podcast and listen to him drone on, you can get it from here's what he actually said kind of deal.
All right, let's go to our third.
They should stay off the podcast.
Yeah, they absolutely should. Let Ben Berry do his podcast, and you other guys stay off of it.
Yeah.
Maybe have Frank come on every now and then. But yeah,
what's all we so far? And who's the dumbest?
So far we got two organizations.
All right, who's next?
Our third entry is a retired Colonel Craig Tucker. And I'm going to call him out because
Craig Tucker. Was he a full bird colonel?
Retired Marine Colonel.
Well, Lieutenant Colonel or full bird.
That just says Marine Colonel. He was hired by the state of California as an expert for expert witness testimony to support the state's assault weapons ban, which is fine. Okay, you're going to hire an expert. I don't know why we always have these military guys that don't think, us and the public should have firearms, but it's not uncommon.
It's not uncommon for that or for.
And that's not the dumb part.
Yeah. Continue on.
The dumb part is what he said, and I read his whole little witness statement, and there's a bunch of stupid things in his witness statement. But the dumbest thing he said was, a single 5.56 or .223 round can separate the upper half of a person's body from the lower half. A single shot.
One shot. Rip you in half.
Because they hit you, they start tumbling, they rip you in half. He's seen it.
Oh, my gosh.
It's the dumbest thing. You had a rebuttal from a ballistics expert, actually out of Alabama. So pretty cool that we got a guy from Alabama. He's fought the case in California. But he was talking about, that's just ridiculous. I mean, he made the statement with this one statement just kind of takes the rest of your testimony. Makes it not worth anything. That's just silly.
You can't make such a stupid statement and then and say anything else and be worthwhile.
No,
or think people will listen to it.
And he also made a statement that that round is just made to kill people. Well, so is every other round of ammunition. But
the round is made to kill people and it rips them in half with one bullet. In most states, you can't use for hunting deer.
Right. That's what I was going to fix to say. He made that statement that it's not a good hunting round. So I don't know why people say they use it for hunting. But dude,
well, you just said it would be if it ripped you in half.
Yeah, you can't use it, but for small game because you leave such a small projectile.
Oh my God!
It was just if you get a chance.
I don't know how we're going to vote on this, but.
Well, we got that. So that's 3, and then we got the police officer with the acorn. He's number 4.
Dumbest person of the week.
Yeah, I pick Mr. Retired Colonel Craig Tucker.
I'm going to go with.
But USPSA is pretty dumb. But that was just that remark. That's just.
I'm going to go. Yeah, I'll go with him as well, just for the effect that he could have on our gun rights. People that stupid.
Yeah,
People are that
USPSA,
dumb.
they can be dumb, but then, okay, I just don't go shoot a match.
Yeah, it's not going to affect our rights mostly. But
USCCA, maybe I do go to jail with those guys. But
Florida cop rolling around on the ground thinking he's been shot, screaming like a woman.
I've been shot.
Did I say screaming like a woman? Yep.
Yeah, I don't think you should say that.
Why not?
Yeah, well, I think he's still looking for that squirrel.
Yeah. So, Lee. All right. So
my pick is the Colonel.
There's some dumb people.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
we're gonna have an abundance of people for that segment every time.
Yeah, shoot me an email or on who you think is the dumbest out of those four, and I'll send you a T-shirt.
You gonna send everybody a T-shirt?
That shoots us an email? Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody that sends me an email, we'll send them
on who's the dumbest.
On who's the dumbest. So
all right.
Acorn Cop's close, but I think Colonel got him.
Yeah.
So what else you got? That's all I got on my book.
Oh, that's all. I don't have anything else. I had my one review. What do you mean? What else do I got?
That's all I don't you ever bring.
I bring the intelligence to the conversation. Is what I bring.
Okay. Well, you might get in the running for who's dumber. So,
I won't win that.
Well, I said this was going to be on YouTube, but apparently my GoPro conked out on me. So we'll try.
You're talking about who's dumber. You can't even run a GoPro.
Well, I got to get. Well, whatever. We'll try to do the next one on YouTube. Well, no, the battery one did. It had a half a charge on it. So we'll do better next time.
A half a charge. How much is a half a charge?
What do you mean, how much is half? It's half of a full.
Half a charge. All right.
Idiot. I don't know how to do this. All right, that's all I got. You got anything else?
No, I don't think so.
All right. We are Everything Guns.
We're out.